so much for coming to see our little production today. Welcome to Euripides Bakkhai, as translated by Dr. Ann Carson. So, I am so excited to show you all what these actors have done over the past month. It is just a phenomenal show. They have really put their heart and soul into this performance, as has the crew. And we are just so excited to be able to share it with you all tonight on this closing night. So, before we get started, though there are a few things that we need to go over, there are some rules to the Keene. So, no food or drink, please, in the Keene Theater. And also no flash photography, as that gets very distracting. Also, please, 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 keep clear of the aisles as much as you can. There will be people running around through them. And lastly, masks are not required, but they are highly encouraged. As for content warnings for the show, well, I've got a list of them. All right. There's physical violence, gore, xenophobia, misogyny, brief flashing lights, loud noises, and some alcohol consumption. This is a show about Dionysus. All right. Now, without all of that said, we present to you Euripides Bakkhai.
I wish I were two dogs, so I could play with me. Translator's note on Euripides Bakkhai. Dionysus is god of the beginning, before the beginning.
What makes beginning special? Think of
your first sip of wine from a really good bottle. Opening page
of a crime novel. Start of an idea.
tingling of falling in love. Beginnings have their own energy. Ethics, tonality, color.
Greenish, bluish, purple.
Dewy and cool, almost transparent.
As a ripe grape, tone of alterity. Things just about to change.
Already looking different. Energy headlong and heatless.
And shot like a beam. Ethics fantastically selfish.
He is a young god, mythologically obscure, always just arriving at some new place to disrupt the status quo, wearing the start of a smile.
The Greeks called him foreign, and staged his incursion into polis after polis.
In stories like this one in Euripides Bakkhai, a shocking play.
When lecturing in Japan, Stephen Hawking was asked not to mention that the universe
had a beginning, and so likely an end because it would affect
the stock market. Speculations aside, we all need a prehistory.
According to Freud, we do nothing but repeat it. Beginnings are special.
Because most of them are fake. That new person you become with that first sip of wine
Was already there. Look at Pentheus twirling around in a dress.
So pleased with his girl, guys, he's almost in tears. Are we to believe
That this desire is new? Why else was he keeping that dress in the back?
of his closet anyhow. Costume is flesh. Look at Dionysus.
Plucked prematurely from his doomed mother's womb, and sewn up.
In the thigh of Zeus, to be born again later. Life is a rehearsal.
For life. Here's a well-known secret about Dionysus.
Despite all those legends of him as a new god imported to Greece from the east,
His name is already in linear V tablets from the 12th century BC.
previousness is something a god can manage fairly well.
time is a fiction for him, but mortals less so.
Look at those poor, passionate women worshipping this god, the Bakkhai.
Destroyer of livestock and of local people. And Pentheus, the king.
The herdsman describes them lying at peace in the mountains.
Calm as buttons on a shirt. This is the world before men. Then the posse arrives.
And the violence begins. What does this tell us? The shock of a new.
Will unveil itself in the old and brutal ways. Dionysus does not.
Explain or regret anything. Please.
If he can cause you to perform, despite your plan, despite your politics.
Despite your neuroses, despite even your Dionysian theories of self, something quite previous.
The desire before the desire. The lick of beginning to know you don't know.
If life is a stage, that is the show. Exit Dionysus.
I am son of Zeus, born by a lightning bolt out of Semele. You know the story. The night Zeus split her open with fire. In order to come here, I have changed my form, put on this suit of human presence. I want to visit the springs of Dionysus, the river Ismenus. Look there. I see the tomb of my mother, thunderstruck Semele, in her ruined home, still smoking with the live flame of Zeus. I'm glad my grandfather Kadmos named this place sacred. I'm glad he keeps it clean. I myself planted it all round with vines in the clear key of green. The story so far. I crossed Lydia, Phrygia, Bactria, Media, Arabia, and the whole coastland of Asia to come here, to this Greek city, to make myself known. My rituals, my dances, my religion, my live wire self. I am something supernatural. Not exactly God, ghost, spirit, angel, principle, or element. There's no word for it in English. In Greek, they say diamond. Can we just use that? So, I said all Asia dancing. Then I came here, first of all the cities of Greece. I came to thrill you thieves, don't doubt I will. Here's what you'll need. Fawnskin, Teiresias, absolute submission. My mother's sisters fail to understand this. They've been going around saying Dionysus wasn't born of Zeus. Kadmos just made that up after Semele slept with a perfectly ordinary person. It was wrong of them to say such things. I've stung them from their homes. They are gone mad upon the mountains. The whole bursting female seed pod has gone mad. I've put them in Dionysian uniform. They sit beneath pine trees staring at their own green hands. So they will learn. So Thebes must learn to call me son of Zeus and call me Diamond. Now, Thebes has a new leader. Kadmos appointed him. He's Kadmos' grandson. Name is Pentheus. This man is against me. He does not acknowledge me in libation or in prayer, but I am a god. I'll show him and all his Thebans, and I'll be on my way to another land in visible triumph. But if Thebes comes forth in anger to drive my Bacchic women from the mountains, I will lead them as an army into battle. That's why I've changed into mortal form. How do I look? Woo! Convincingly human. Oh, my dear women, my cadre, my sisterhood, my fellow travelers, you who left your distant lives to wander all the way from Lydia with me, lift up your tambourines, bang loud your drums, surround Pentheus' house with noise, and let the city see you. I'll go to Mount Kathiron and get them dancing there.
From Asia I come!
From Kemelis I hasten!
This work that I love!
This love that I live!
Call you Bacchus! Who is in the road? Who is in the way?
Stand back! Stay quiet!
I shall sing Dionysus!
I shall make the simplest sentence explode with his name!
Oh! Blessed is he who
Blessedly happy is he who
knows the holy protocols, who makes his lecture, joins his soul in congregation
on the mountains of Bacchus,
honoring the mother
and the mysteries.
With his thyrsus, his ivy, his submission to the god.
Come, Bakkhai! Come, Bakkhai! Bring your god home!
Bring Prometheus down from the mountains of Phrygia
Into the wide dancing streets of Greece!
Romeo! The one who,
Mother shimmered into fire
at the moment of his birth,
when Zeus's lightning bolt blew her apart!
and Zeus sewed the infant into his own side,
With golden stitches, secret and safe.
until the appointed time.
Then he was born a god, with horns on his head and snakes in his hair.
That's why the Bakkhai like to play with wild things, even now.
Oh, thieves! Garland yourself and all the green there is!
Ivy green.
Fennel green.
Growing green.
Yearning green.
Seth green. New great green.
Green of youth and green of branches.
Green of mint and green of marsh grass.
Green of tea leaves, oak and pine.
Green of wash needles and early rain.
Green of weeds and green of ocean.
Green of bottles, ferns, and apples.
Green of the dawn-soaked dew and slender green of roots.
Green fresh out of pools. Green slipped under falls.
Green of the green pew.
Green of the honey hill.
Green of the rough caress of ritual.
Green, undaunted by reason or delirium.
Green of jealous joy. Green of the secret holy violence of the thirsty.
Green of the sacred iridescence of the dance.
And let all the land of Thebes dance!
With Dionysus leading.
To the mountains!
To the mountains!
Where the mob of women wait.
They've forsaken their shuttles.
They've left their looms.
They've taken off their aprons and taken up their station on Dionysus' mountain.
He has stung them out of their minds.
Do you hear that pounding?
Do you hear the kettle drum?
The Koribants invented it.
To mingle with the sweet shrill voice of the flute.
And they gave it to the mother.
Who gave it to the singers?
Who gave it to us?
We dance to a drumbeat, adoring our God. He loves the drum. He
Sweet upon the mountains when he runs from the pack. When he drops to the ground, hunting goat-kill blood and raw flesh pleasure, longing for the mountains of home. Oh, Romeus,
leader of the dance.
Yeah!
Yeah!
His ground flows with milk, flows with wine, flows with the nectar of bees.
Like smoke of incense streaming aloft, his pine torch blazes. He darts! He runs! He dances! He touches them with fire if they lag, and rouses them with shouts if they wander. And all the while, his long hair blowing on the wind, and all the while, his low voice pulsing into them. Run, Bakkhai! Run, Bakkhai! You amazing golden creatures! Sing, Dionysus! Sing, glory your God in the thunder of drums! To the mountains! To the mountains! Yeah! Yeah!
Look, there she goes, lost in joy, like a colt from its mother frisking free. The creature of Bacchus.
You! At the gate! Go and call Kadmos out. Go on! He'll know why.
We have an agreement, one old man to another, to try out this Dionysian business together. Fawn skins, thyrsus, garland in the hair, the complete regalia.
I knew it was you, my wise old friend. I heard your voice. Look, I've got my gear on too. The costume of the god. Now we must promote Dionysus in every way we can. He is my daughter's son, after all. So, where are we headed? I'm ready to dance or trance or toss our old white heads or whatever comes next. You lead the way, Teiresias. You're the wise one. I'm merely enthusiastic. Isn't it fun to forget our old age?
Yes, well, what is it they say? You're as young as you feel.
We must get to the mountain. Shall we call a cab?
That doesn't sound very Dionysian.
Good point. Let's walk. We can lean on each other.
The gods will guide us. It won't be hard.
We're the only ones in the city going?
The only ones with any sense.
All right. Arm in arm, then. No delay.
Here we go.
I don't believe in despising the gods, a mere human myself.
And I don't believe in philosophizing about it. We know he's a diamond. We know there are certain traditions pertaining to that. Traditions as old as time. Why analyze further? What wisdom is in that? Will they say I look silly dancing around with ivy in my hair? Well, yes. So what? Dionysus didn't specify his worshippers be young or old. He wants reverence from all.
You can't see this, Teiresias, but Pentheus is coming our way, and he has a wild look to him. Wonder what's got to him.
I was out of the country, but I kept hearing rumors of trouble in our city, of women leaving home, of fake Bacchic revels deep in the mountains, of women gone mad for someone they call Dionysus, whoever that is. They say diamond, followed by a nervous hush. There's a lot of drinking involved and creeping off into corners with men. Meanwhile, they call themselves a prayer group. Obviously, it's just sex. I've had most of them thrown in jail. Few have escaped. Agave, my own mother, for example, is still at large. I've got the police on it. Soon to have them all locked up. Put a stop to this Bacchic nonsense. People are talking about a certain Lydian stranger hanging around too. A sort of magician, huckster, swoony type. Long hair, bedroom eyes, cheeks like wine. He mingles with the young girls night and day, claiming to show them some sort of mystic thing. Claiming to them that Dionysus is a son of God and was sewn up in the thigh of Zeus. Awful nonsense. The fact is, he was burned to bits along with his mother because she claimed Zeus as her paramour. How about I investigate this guy, whoever he is? How about I curtail his mystic thing? Oh my stars. Here's another wonder. Teiresias in fawnskins. And you. I'm sorry, grandfather, but you look like a lampshade. Take off that ivy. Was this your idea, Teiresias? Joining the Bacchic bandwagon in hopes of a few extra commissions? This Diamonic stuff seems right up your alley, doesn't it? Lucky you're old and harmless, or I'd throw you in jail with the rest of them. You old pair of drivers. Can't you smell something off? Women and wine toxic combination. Daimonic my foot.
It might be a good idea.
If it's not too much bother. Show more respect for your old grandfather.
Not to mention the gods.
You're bold and loud and glib, Pentheus. You should have been a lawyer. But you totally lack common sense. This new invented diamond you laugh at, take my word for it. He's not one to be laughed at. He's going to be big. And here's my view. Two things we mortals need to make life livable. Demeter, on one hand, grows all the food we eat on Earth. She is the dry element. Dionysus, the wet element, gives us drink. He showed us how to press liquor from grapes. Wine is an escape from grief, a slip into sleep, a cool forgetting of the hot pains of day. What better cure for being human? And when we make libations to the gods, we pour the god of wine himself. It's how we pray. Yet this is the divinity you wish to mock. Why? Because of some legend that Zeus sewed him up in his thigh with golden stitches. I'll tell you what that means. It's just a random homonym. Zeus's guilt over his dalliance with Semele was misunderstood by simple minds as gilt-edged stitches. People do this kind of thing with stories all the time. They hear what they want to hear. It doesn't make the facts any less true. And the facts are, this diamond is a prophet, and you should by no means slight him. Yes, Bacchic states of mind are laced with prophecy. When the god enters your body, you're suddenly speaking the future. He plays a vital part in warfare, too. That shock of fear that runs right through an army before a battle, that's Dionysus. Or that flash across the peaks of Delphi, tossing like a great spark from crag to crag with a pine torch in each hand. That's him. But you, Pentheus, put too much emphasis on forcing your way. Do you really think violence is the only way to influence people? Think again. Accept this god, pour his wine, dance his dance, say yes. For Dionysus does not compel women to go mad for sex. It is their own nature that determines that. Pure as heart is pure in life. But admit this, you love when people throng at your gates and call your name. He loves it too. He wants respect. That is all. So, go ahead. Ridicule Kadmos and me, dressed up in our ivy and tossing our old white heads. We intend to dance for Dionysus. Yes. It is the right thing to do. You must be out of your mind to go to war with a god like this.
Good speech, old man.
You've kept your Apollonian poise.
And made the right noise for Dionysus.
An important god. Teiresias gives good advice, my boy. Come with us. Don't put yourself outside of the law. You're overexcited. Your thoughts all over the place. But, okay, let's suppose for the moment that this fellow is no god. Why not say he is anyway? It's a noble lie. Think of what it does for the eminence of our family. To say Semele is the mother of a god. Don't forget your poor old cousin Teiresias, ripped apart by his own hunting dogs. He prided himself he was better than Artemis. Watch out for pride. So, just come with us. Honor the god. Here, let me wreath your head in this bit of ice.
Don't touch me! Go play your Bacchic burlesque somewhere else. Don't wipe it off on me. And as for Professor Teiresias, your intellectual guide in this folly, I'll see that gets his due. Go to Teiresias' little outpost and bulldoze it. Throw up his prophetic paraphernalia to the winds. That would get him. And go from street to street through our city and track down this girl-faced stranger. Bring him to me. His stink is in our beds and on our women. I'll have him stoned to death, bitter Theban aftertaste for his daimonic dabbling.
I worry about you, Pentheus. I really do. You were always hot-headed. Now you're sounding unhinged. Kadmos, we better get going. We should offer a special prayer to the god on behalf of this man, though he won't thank us. And on behalf of the city of Thebes, the god might do something drastic otherwise. Come on, gather up your items. We'll keep each other upright, shall we? Would be a bit embarrassing to see two old Bakkhai go tumbling in the dust and over appetite, but so be it. Dionysus is God. Our task is to serve him. Just be careful of that grandson, Kadmos. He'll bring remorse to your household. I'm not speaking prophetically. These are facts. One who speaks folly is a fool.
Holiness
Is a word I love to hear.
It sounds like wings to me.
Wings brushing the world, gracing my life.
Pentheus!
Has a harsh sound.
A negative sound. He's a negative person.
He's against Dionysus.
Against rejoicing. Against laughter.
Against flutes.
Not to mention their transcendent gladness of grapes and wine.
So beneficial to body, soul, and psyche's interior design.
I'm saying
His tongue is unbridled.
his reasoning reckless. His end may be hacked and hard.
A life of quiet discretion still, as a summer day holds a house together.
Cleverness is not wisdom.
Far off in the sky live the gods who never die. They watch us.
They watch how far we press our limits.
There is a morning star.
There is an evening star.
Don't press too far.
I dream of a perfectly clear afternoon on the island where Aphrodite sits, counting her blessings beside the erotic sea.
I dream of rivers with 100 mouths and of mountains where the leaves turn over like silver fire.
Take me there, Dionysus. Oh, Diamond. Oh, Bacchus.
Take me somewhere ruled by the laws of desire, where we can dance you and never tire. Our God loves festivity. He loves serenity. Whether you're high
Or low.
or rich
or simple, all the same.
Dionysus will fill your soul with peace. It's not about intellectual prowess.
It's not about true or false.
It's pure release.
It's your life, night and day. Free of grief. Dionysus's gift.
Say no, and he will hate you.
Choose this practice. Most people do.
I too.
Here we are, Pentheus. Mission accomplished. Then here's your quarry. You said we'd find him a wild beast, but we found him quite tame. Didn't panic or turn for it, didn't turn pale. In fact, he laughs and, okay, tie me up, and stood there very patiently while we put the shackles on. I was embarrassed. Sorry, stranger, I said. Not my idea. Pentheus's orders. And here's another thing. Those Bakkhai women, the ones you locked up and put in jail, they've all gone free. Run off to the mountains, skipping and dancing and calling the name of their god. The fetters simply fell off their feet. The doors swung open by no human agency. This fellow has come to deeds full of miracles, hasn't he? Well, it's your problem now.
Release his hands. He's in my net, he won't escape. Well, stranger, you're not bad looking. Obvious why you appeal to women. And that's your main demographic in Thebes, am I right? By your long flowing hair, I can see that you're no wrestler. Indoor man, am I right? Like to keep your skin clear out of the daylight, soft to the touch. Those touches that you dream of in those long afternoons, in those safe back bedrooms. But no! Who are you, and where are you from?
You've heard of the flowery hills of Tmolos, I'm sure.
Yes, I have. The hills around Sardis.
That's where I'm from, Lydia, my homeland.
And what about this mystery religion of yours? Where's that from?
From Dionysus, son of Zeus.
You have some Zeus who plucks new gods out of the air?
The same Zeus who plucked one out of Semele, right here in Thebes.
And did he come to you as a dream in the night or your waking hours?
My eyes were open. He delivers the mysteries personally.
In what form do these mysteries take?
That's a secret, not for the uninitiated.
For the initiated, do they do some good?
You cannot know that, but it is worth knowing.
Aren't you a shrewd manager of data? Pricking my curiosity, am I right?
The mysteries are serious. They hate to trivialize it.
You say you saw the god face to face. How did he look?
However he liked. I don't control that.
KG, you keep deflecting my questions.
Good answers are wasted on a fool.
So are we the first place where you brought your new diamond?
Oh no, people are dancing for Dionysus pretty much everywhere else.
Foreigners all lack sense compared to Greeks.
Well, there's more than one kind of sense. It's true they enjoy different customs.
And are your mysteries performed at night or in the day?
At night. Darkness is serious.
Yes, it is. Seriously corrupting. For women.
Can be found in the daylight, too.
Oh, stop being clever. There's a penalty for that.
Stop being superficial, you slight the god.
I can't believe your arrogance, you casuistical, bucket little show-off!
What? And there's a penalty for that? Scare me.
First thing, you'd be a crew cut.
But my hair's long. I grew it for the god.
Hand over that stupid Teiresias.
Take it yourself, it belongs to Dionysus.
Then I'll throw you in jail.
The god will let me out.
Sure, whenever you call him, I suppose.
He's already here now.
Wait, I don't see any god.
Right where I'm standing. You don't see because you aren't serious.
Seize him! He mocks me! He mocks thieves!
I warn you, don't do it.
I'm the one who gives orders around here.
You do not know what your life is, nor what you're doing, nor who you are.
I am Pentheus, son of Agave, son of Echion.
That is the saddest name I've ever heard.
Go, lock him up in the stables. He can commune with the serious darkness there. Maybe teach the horses to dance. And as for these women, these cymbal bangers and drum thumpers, we'll sell into slavery or put to work at our looms.
I'm going, but you cannot make me suffer what I am not destined to suffer. And as for your insults, you'll have to answer to Dionysus, whom you claim does not exist. In imprisoning us, you wrong him.
Oh, dear Kay, River of Thebes, Lady River, Virgin River, daughter of Awmeo is the river.
Once upon a time, you welcomed your water.
The infant Dionysus, when Zeus translated him from fire into his own thigh and gave him to Thebes as Bakkhai, born of a masculine womb.
So why do you repudiate me now?
Why do you turn away from my dances? One day yet, by the clustering grace of the vine, by the glowing green delirium of the vine, by the joyous blue blush of the vine, I swear you will come to care passionately for the god we call Bacchus, twice born, Dithyrambics, Bromius, Julius, Dionysus!
Such anger he shows.
That earthborn, snake-begotten Pentheus.
Son of Echion, a monster without a face. This is no human entity. He comes from giants in blood.
He pits himself against gods, and soon he will have me in his prison. I, who belong to Bromius.
Already my comrade is locked up in the dark.
Do you see this, Dionysus? Do you see how passionately your prophet struggles?
Lord, come down from Olympus, shake your thyrsus, and crush the hybris of this strong-minded man! Oh, Dionysus, where are you?
Roaming the mountains, lost in a dreamy afternoon on Mount Olympus, where Orpheus once taught the trees to walk and the animals to dance to his tune.
Oh, blessed Pieria, Dionysus reveres you.
Dionysus is coming. He is not far to seek.
Leading his Bakkhai river by river, he will cross the Axius.
A speedy river.
He will cross the Linnert, a river whose waters, so I have heard,
Make the ground rich and the horses speak.
Yeah! Hear me! Hear my voice! Oh, Bakkhai! Oh, Bakkhai!
who is this?
Where's this Dionysus voice come from?
Yeah! I call again! I, son of Semele, son of Zeus!
Yeah, master! Master, come to us! Bromius! Bromius!
Spirit of earthquake, shake the floor of the world!
Soon, Pentheus' house will be broken apart!
Our God is all through the house!
Worship him!
Yes! But oh!
Look, the stones are sliding off the roof! Listen!
Dionysus lifts his cry inside the house!
Light this blaze! Make Pentheus' house a conflagration!
See that fire!
Those flames surrounding Semele's tomb.
Throw yourselves to the ground, Bakkhai!
Our king is turning the house upside down!
Okay, ladies, up we get. No more crouching, no more sobbing. I guess you saw Bacchus topple Pentheus' house.
Oh, wild great light of your voice, is it you?
What joy to see you. I was so lonely. You lost heart when you saw me go in the big dark interior.
Of course I did. You're my only shelter. How did you escape?
Easily.
He tied your hands with ropes.
Just between you and me, I had a bit of fun with him and his ropes. He thought he tied me up, you see, but he hadn't laid a hand on me. He grabbed hold of a bull that was stabled there, poor creature trying to eat its dinner. That's where the ropes went. He wrapped that bull from stem to stern. Hard work. He was panting and sweating and biting his lip. I sat by and watched quietly. It was then that Bromius shook the house and sent up a flame on Semele's tomb. Pentheus panicked, fancied his house was on fire, started running back and forth, shouting orders about buckets and water, put every servant to work, total waste of time. Then, it suddenly struck him that I might escape. He dropped his bucket, grabbed a sword, and raced inside where, as it seems to me, but this is just one man's opinion, Bromius fashioned a simulacrum of me. Pentheus leapt upon it, stabbing the air, slaughtering me. Then, Bromius added injury to insult. He did bring down the house! Disarticulated it 2 bits. So much for trying to put me in jail. The great warrior sank to the ground exhausted. Man against God never works. I made my exit peacefully. No idea what he's up to now. But wait, I hear someone coming. I bet it's him. What will he say, I wonder? No matter how hot he blows, I'll be my simple, smiling self. A wise man is a well-tempered man.
Ghastly day! The stranger escaped me! So I secured him with stout rope! Here's the man! What's going on? How did you get yourself out here?
Take a deep breath, Pentheus, in through the nose, out through the mouth.
The ropes, the knots. I tied you up myself.
I believe I mentioned someone would release me.
Someone like who? You're always trying to sound so mysterious.
The one who bestows grapes and vines and wines on mankind.
Ah, yes. That welcome contribution to society.
You don't approve.
Lock the doors, bar the gates, close the city down.
Why bother? Doors don't stop God.
Oh, stop being so wise. Where does it get you?
Can't do it. Wisdom is in my nature. Where does it get me? Well, we'll see. But here comes someone you should listen to. He's down from the mountains with special news. I'll wait.
Pentheus, King of Thebes. I've come from Mount Catharon, where the peaks are always white with snow.
Important news?
Those Bakkhai, those hysteric women. I've seen them. The ones who fly from their houses barefoot. I need to tell you the strange things they're doing. Beyond strange. Can I speak freely? I'm nervous of your quick temper, sir.
Speak freely. You're safe. It wouldn't be decent to blame a law-abiding man, now would it? The stranger you report of Bacchic doings, the more I'll punish that fellow who indoctrinated them into this whole dubious Dionysian business.
Well, so, we were driving our cattle uphill to pasture. It was just about sunrise. We see 3 groups of those women, 3 circles, lying fast asleep. One's threatening Agave, your mother. Another with Awmeo. Third with Ino. They were all so still. Some had leaned their backs against pine trees. Others had made pillows out of leaves, calm as buttons on a shirt. We told us to look for drunkenness, wild music, wanting through the woods. But there was none of that. But as you know, cattle are loud, shuffling and moving. And up starts Agave, who yells that yell of hers to arouse the Bakkhai, and they spring straight up. What makes sleep of their eyes yet suddenly organized? I was impressed. Young women, old ones, girls unwed, they shook out their hair and fastened their fawskins with snakes that slid up to lick their cheeks. Some, new mothers who left their babies at home, cradled wolf cubs and deer and suckled them. Others wreathed their hair in ivy, oak, or briary. One took a thyrsus and struck a rock. Clear water gushed out. Another pierced the ground and up came wine, gift to the god, while those who desired it clotted the earth and got white milk. And from many a thyrsus sweet honey was dripping. If you'd been there, if you'd seen the things I'd saw, you'd be offering prayers to this god you denounce. So we gathered, us cowherds and shepherds, to discuss these bizarre goings on. And up gets one of the drovers who does us speak. You mountain men, he addresses us. Why don't we go hunt down Agave, pluck Pentheus' mother from her Bacchic revels, and do a favor for our king? It seemed like a good idea. So I set ourselves in ambush in the thicket. And at a certain moment, the women began to whirl and stand and call out, Yakos! Romeos! Son of Zeus! And so the entire mountain became the sound, and every animal was racing. Not a single part of the pit was not in motion. And as it happened, Agave swerved past me. I leapt at her, and she screamed!
All my running dogs! All my swift hounds! These men have come to hunt us down! Follow me now! That thyrsus in your hand is a weapon! Use it!
Everyone in Tortoise, leave them away! They attacked all the pull the captive pieces, fell alive with their bare hands! Others were the ribs and hopes scattered them down, chunks of flesh in the pine trees, clawed them because quicker than you could wink through her alive. Then, all of a sudden, they took off. Like a flock of birds, to the fields below Mount Thyron, 2 villages there. The women fell upon them like a ransacking army! Tore the place to shreds, stole the children from their homes, carried off all the plunder they could pile on their shoulders and strike the state. And you know, their hair was on fire, didn't burn. And he was a right terrible sight to see. For their spears drew no blood at all. While those women, you know, a thyrsus, it can make quite a wound. So the men fled. Some god engineered this, is my guess. Anyway, the women went back up to the hill they started, to the fountain made by their god, to wash their hands and let the snakes lick blood from their wounds. Sir, whoever this diamond is, welcome him to Thebes. They say he's important, extremely important. Why? They say he brings the gift of wine to men. Without wine, there's no relief from pain. Without wine, there's no sex. Life isn't worth living.
I fear speaking freely to the king.
Still, it must be said.
Dionysus is inferior to no god.
This Bakkhai insanity is catching like wildfire. What a disgrace! People watch us and laugh. Now it's no time to shrink back. Go to the gates of the city and call out for any man who can carry a shield, ride a horse, hurl a spear, or fit an arrow to the bowstring. We're going to make war on the Bakkhai. It is beyond endurance to suffer all this at the hands of women.
You're the type of person who listens, yet you do not hear. You've used me badly, yet I warn you. Don't take up arms against a god. Stay quiet. Bromios will not endure you driving the Bakkhai from his mountain.
Don't lecture me. You escaped prison. Be happy with that. Or shall I throw you back in jail?
I'd offer worship to this god rather than rage at him, mortal against God.
Worship? Good idea. I'll worship a big, bloody pile of Bakkhai women.
No, they will make you turn and run. These Bakkhai with their homemade weapons, they will shame you.
Oh, why am I entangled in this hopeless conversation? The fellow never stops talking.
Oh, come on. There's still a way to make things right.
How? Submit to my inferiors?
I'll bring the women here myself. No weapons.
This is some trick, some plan, some stratagem. I don't trust you.
Why not? My plan is simply to save you.
You've dreamed this up in collaboration with those women, so you can all keep cruising on forever.
Well, in collaboration with the god, anyhow.
Bring me my sword! I'll make you stop talking.
Ah. Well, how about this? Would you like to see what those women are up to on that mountain?
Oh, I'd give anything for that.
You're suddenly avid. Can you say why?
Of course, it would pain me to see those women crazy with drink.
But a pain mixed with pleasure, perhaps.
Exactly. I could sit quietly by a pine tree.
Hiding, but if you hide, they'll smell you out.
Good point. I'll stay in the open.
Let's go. Are you ready?
Ready? Don't waste any more time.
First, you must put on women's clothes.
Why? Change myself to a woman?
If they see a man there, you're dead.
Another good point. You're sharp.
Dionysus taught me everything I know.
So how do we go about this?
I'll come in and dress you myself.
Dress me as a woman? I'm too embarrassed.
Lots of appetite, no more spying on Maenads.
What kind of dress did you have in mind?
First, I would give you long, flowing hair.
Then what, jewelry?
And a robe to your ankles.
Anything else?
A thyrsos, of course, and a bonskin.
No, I can't do it. Dress myself as a woman? No.
Well, if you simply march up the mountain and make war, you'll cause a bloodbath.
True. I need to reconnoiter first.
Now you're thinking, no point hunting trouble with trouble, is there?
How shall I get through the town unseen?
I know a back way.
The important thing is, those Bakkhai must not laugh at me. Let's go inside. I'll decide what to do.
Fine, I'm ready, whatever you choose.
Either make war on them, or listen to you.
Ladies, the man is in the nest! He's on his way to the Bakkhai. He'll pay the ultimate price. Dionysus, the rest is up to you. You're close to us now. You're very close. It's time to punish Pentheus. First, craze his brain. Send a scamper of madness into it. Otherwise, he'll never put on women's clothes. And, given the way he threatened me, I'd like to see him made mock of, paraded through the city in all his ridiculous finery. So, I'll go rig him up, put on his dress. He'll wear that dress to Hades, as after his mother slaughters him with her own hands. And he will come to know Dionysus, son of Zeus, true and consummate God, God of the intensities of terror, God of the gentlest human peace.
When shall I set my white foot in the all-night dances?
When shall I lift my throat up to the dewy air? Like a fawn skylark.
In the great, clean joy of the meadow.
She runs free from the hunt and the hunter. She leaps
Over the nest.
as he cries up his dogs. With storms at her feet, she sprints. The flame races.
The river.
Flies down where the shadows deepen the trees. Overjoyed.
At the sheer absence of mortal men.
What is wisdom? What feels better than to hold your hand over the head of your enemy? Who does not love this feeling? It moves so slowly. The force of the gods.
And yet, it is absolutely guaranteed to arrive.
To punish human folly.
And the arrogance of a private theology.
Ingenious!
How a god can hide and then
Leave us! On the unholy man! To think or act outside the law is never right.
But this is valid.
this thing we call
The daimonic!
Ancient.
Elemental.
Fixed in law and custom. Grown out of nature itself. What is wisdom? What feels better than to bring your hand down on the head of your enemy? Who does not love this feeling? Happy is he who escapes the winter sea, finds a harbor, prevails over pain.
And yet, one man always outdoes another in wealth or power.
And hopes are countless. They come on like waves, rising and
Falling.
just be happy day to day.
this I call blessed.
You! Pentheus, I'm talking to you. Still keen on seeing sights you should not see? Still hungry for mischief? Come out and let me see your bucket getup, your Maynard suit, your costume for spying on your mother and her women. Why, you look like one of Kadmos' daughters.
You know, I seem to see two suns, and a double thieves, each with its 7 gates. And you look like a bull leading me in procession. You've got horns growing out of your head. Were you perhaps an animal all the time? You're certainly a bull at the moment.
The god is with us now. He's on our side. He's come around. You're seeing as you ought to see.
How do I look? Is this the way I know stands? Or Agave, my mother?
I feel I'm seeing them in person. But here, this strand of hair is out of place. I had it tucked under, had I not?
I was tossing my head back and forth like a Maena inside the house.
Here, I'll redo it. I'm here to serve you. Hold still.
Perfect. You redo it. I'm in your hands.
And your belt is loose, the pleat's uneven, the hem is slipping down around the ankles.
Is it? Possibly. The right anyway. Over here it hangs straight, as far as I can see.
You'll think me your best friend, I'm sure, when you see how sober and sensible the Bakkhai are. Not what you expect.
Do I take a thyrsus in my right? Or like this, to look really Bacchic?
Right hand. Raise it in time with your right foot. I'm so glad you had a change of heart.
I'll be able to lift Mount Kadmos on my shoulders, Bakkhai and all, am I right?
No problem. Your whole attitude before was unsound, but not anymore.
Shall we take crowbars? Or shall I just put my shoulder into the base of the mountain and shove?
Be careful, though. You mustn't do damage to the temples of the nymphs, or the places where Pan plays his pipes.
Point. Brute force is out. Doesn't work with women anyhow. I'll hide myself in the pines.
You'll hide in the hiding place someone should have, who comes to spy on the Bakkhai.
You know, I can see them in my mind's eye. Little birds in the bracken all tangled up in sex.
Well, that's your mission, isn't it? Catch them at it. Unless you're caught first.
Take me through the center of the city. I'm the only man bold enough to do this.
Yes, you alone bear this burden on behalf of thieves. A contest awaits you, the contest of your destiny. Follow me. I am your guide and savior. Someone else will bring you home.
My mother.
You'll be conspicuous to all.
That's my hope.
You'll be carried aloft.
What a luxury.
In the arms of your mother.
Now you're spoiling me.
Indeed I am.
But I deserve it.
You are an amazing, strange man. And amazing, strange experiences await you. Your celebrity will reach high heaven. Open your arms, Agave! Open your arms, daughters of Kadmos! I am leading this young man to a great contest, to his ultimate performance. And who will win? I will win. Bakkos and I. As for the rest, soon enough obvious.
Run, you dogs of madness! Run to the mountains where the daughters of Kadmos are dancing!
Sting them and drive them to hunt down the spy.
His eye has a crazy glow.
First,
His mother will spot him ducking and dodging,
hopping and hiding,
sneaking and sniffing from cliff to crag, and she will call out to her maidens.
Who is this man that has come to our mountain to hunt us from peak to peak? Oh, Bakkhai, who gave him birth? Surely no woman. His mother must be some lion, some Gorgon.
Into the throat of the ungodly, unlawful, unrighteous, earthborn son of Echion, let justice sink her sword. His judgment is wrong.
his anger, chaotic,
His arrogance out of control.
He dispatches himself against you, Bacchus,
Against your mother.
against your holy rights.
He is a violent man, but
Death will discipline him. Death takes no excuses.
to accept that we are mortal helps us live without pain.
Myself, I've no interest in wisdom.
I hunt another quarry. By day, by night.
great, clear joy of living, pure and reverently,
Rejecting injustice and honoring the gods.
Into the throat of the ungodly, unlawful, unrighteous, earth
Be a bull.
Be a snake! Be a lion! Be manifest! Come with your little net and your fatal smile.
Your little smile and your fatal net.
Hunt down the hunter, trip him and tangle him. Let him fall under a pack of maenads.
This house was fortunate once, founded by Kadmos, who sowed earthborn crops and dragon seed. How I grieve for you, though I am but a slave. Still, I grieve for you.
What is it? News of the Bakkhai?
Pentheus, son of Achaeon, is dead.
Oh, brilliant!
You are revealed to eye, mind, and judgment, a great God!
I beg your pardon. You women rejoice at my master's downfall.
We are foreign! We sing a foreign song of joy! No more cowering! No more prison!
You think Thebes has no men left to govern you?
Dionysus, not Thebes, is my government.
Understood, ladies. But to gloat at others' misfortune is not decent.
How did he die? I want to know the details.
He was an unjust man.
A thoroughly unjust man!
We had left behind the outskirts of Thebes and the river Asopus, heading for Mount Theiron. It was Pentheus in front, me following, and the stranger who offered to act as our guide. We came across a grassy glen, walking silently, looking to see and not be seen. There was a hollow between two hills, crossed by streams and shaded by pine trees, where the maenads were sitting happily working at little tasks, rewinding the thyrsus with tendrils of ivy, or frisking like colts set free, and singing Bacchic songs back and forth. But Pentheus, the hapless man, couldn't quite see the woman, and said to our guide, "From where I stand, I can't quite make out those impostors, those maenads, but up on the banks, if I were to climb a tall pine, I could get a better view of all their obscene goings-on." Then I saw the stranger work a miracle. Seizing the top branch of a towering pine, he brought it down, down, down to the black ground, curved taut like a bow or rim forced round a wheel. So was the force the stranger used. No mortal could have done it. And then he sat Pentheus on top and let the branch go straight through his hands, gradually, gently, lest it unseat the riders. And now the branch went straight to the sky with Pentheus on top, and the maenads could see him more easily than he could see them. Still, he was not completely visible from his perch. But then the stranger suddenly vanished, and a voice came out of the air. It was probably Dionysus shouting, "Here he is, woman! I bring you the man who mocks me and mocks my holy rites! Punish him!" And as he said this, a column of fire shot between heaven and earth. Then a silence fell. Silence over the woods, and silence over the leaves, and every animal was silent. You could hear not a twitch. The Bakkhai stood up, were peering around. They hadn't clearly recognized the voice. Again, it rang out, and now they knew his call. Off they shot with the speed of doves. Agave, her sister, all the Bakkhai racing over glen and stream, jagged rock, maddened by the wreck of God. When they saw my master, Crouching atop a pine, they climbed a facing hill and began pelting him with rocks. They used pine bows like javelins and Theiresias like a spear, yet they kept missing. Poor Pentheus, although absolutely helpless, was out of range. Finally, they tore off branches of oak to use as crowbars to uproot the tree. It didn't work. Agave spoke.
Come, maenads! Stand round in a circle! Grip the trunk of that tree! Up there's a wild animal we must capture, or he'll broadcast the secrets of our God!
With that, His hands reached out and tore the tree from the ground, and down he fell from his high seat, choking and sobbing. Pentheus! He was close to understanding his own doom. Agave, as priestess of the slaughter, launched herself first upon him. He tore the headdress from his head in hopes that she, his poor, luckless mother, would know him, would spare him. He touched her cheek and cried out, "Mother, it's me! I am the child you bore in the house of Achaeon. Pity me, mother! Do not murder your own child, whatever his mistakes." But she was foaming at the mouth, was rolling back her eyes, was out of her mind. Bacchus had possessed her. She did not even hear the boy. Seizing the left arm by the wrist, she planted her foot against his ribs and tore the arm off at the shoulder. With not her own strength, the god made it easy. Meanwhile, Eno worked at the other side, stripping the meat from the bone, and Autonoe, with the whole mob of Bakkhai, attacked. With one float of hideous sound, him gasping and groaning, them shrieking their war cry. One carried off an arm, another a foot still in its shoe. The ribs were laid bare of flesh, and every woman drenched in blood. They were playing ball with his body parts. The corpse was strewn about, some in the woods, some by the rocks. Hard to find, but the head, the terrible head, his mother picks up, and as if it were some mountain lions, impales on top of her Theiresias, and she's carrying it here now, marching down Mount Cathaeron. Yes, she's on her way here now, exulting in that dark and bloody cries, and calling out,
Oh, Bacchus! My partner in the hunt! My comrade in the victory! Oh, what a victory!
The trophy in her hands is her own tears. I'll be out of here to live and think and act within measure, reverencing the gods. This is a man's finest possession.
We dance for Bacchus! We dance for death!
Pentheus is dead!
Born of a snake dressed in women's clothes!
He took up on Theiresias and followed a bull directly down to Hades.
For the Theiresias is certain death!
You Bakkhai, you women of Thebes, your beautiful victory ends in tears. Your glorious game finishes in lamentation as your lovely hand streams with blood as it lifts your own son.
But look, I see Agave running toward us. Her eyes are insane.
Let's give her a wild welcome.
A Bacchic welcome! Oh, Bakkhai! Oh, women of Asia! Why are you shouting? We bring from the mountains a new cut tendril, a lovely bit of hunting.
I see, and I welcome you, dear comrade.
I caught it myself with my bare hands, the cub of a mild mountain lion.
A mountain? What mountain?
Kethyron
Kethyron.
slaughtered him.
Who struck the blow?
Me. My prize. Agave the Blessed is what they call me.
Who else was there?
Cadmus. Cadmus's daughters came upon the animal after me. Lucky hunting.
Lucky indeed.
Won't you share in my feast?
Share it. Oh, my dear. Oh, pity.
What a fresh bloom he is. Just a kid, just a calf. See the down on his cheek, his long, soft hair.
That long hair does give him an animal look.
Bacchus is wise, is he not? A wise hunter. See how wisely he drove the maenads upon his beast.
Oh, yes. He's a hunter.
Do you praise me?
Oh, yes, I praise you.
And soon the men of Thebes
Not to say Pentheus, your son.
shall praise his mother who caught this cub of a mountain lion.
Extraordinary catch.
Extraordinary experience.
So, you're happy.
I'm overjoyed. It was magnificent. The hunt, the day, the spectacle. Magnificent.
Show your prize to the people then. Show your catch, poor woman.
Oh, citizens of beautifully towered Thebes, come see my catch. We daughters of Kadmos hunted and caught this beast, not with javelins, not with nets, just the slender fingers of our own uncalloused hands. And what are they worth now? Your boasts, your useless weaponry? We took this beast barehanded. We tore it limb from limb. Where's my father? Where's the old man? Let him approach. And Pentheus, my son, I want him to set up a ladder against the house and nail this roof beam to the head. My trophy. My lion. I won it myself.
Follow me, servants. Bring that thing here. The thing that was Pentheus. Put it in front of the house. I had to search for this body all over Granzeier. On the rocks, in the woods. The parts were scattered. Lost. I found them. I made a pile. It was so hard to do that. Why did I go up there? Because I heard of my daughter's monstrous acts. I had already returned back to town with Teiresias. But I went back to the mountain. And I carried my child away. Maenads killed him. I saw and Autonoe up there, still static, raging in the oak trees. Oh, it was pitiful. And then someone told me of Agave on her way back down to Thebes, dancing, delirious. And they were right. I'm looking at her right now, and it's no pretty sight.
Father, now you can boast you have the best daughters in the world. I mean all of us, but especially me. I left a loom and weaving to go after bigger game, to hunt wild beasts with my bare hands. And I've got one here. Look! I brought this trophy for your house. You can hang it up, invite your friends, throw a banquet, show off my prowess. For you are a blessed man, Father, a blessed man. What a family of achievers we are.
Oh, grief without measure. I don't know how to look at you. You and your poor you honor the gods with the faith what you have in mind. And you wish to invite all the Thebes. You wish to invite me too. Oh, sorrow. Your sorrow. My sorrow. Certainly, yes. The gods treat us with justice, but he goes too far. Romeo's our destroyer. Romeo's our family!
Well, aren't you grumpy? Old age is like that, always scowling. I wish my son were more like me. Lucky in the hunt when he goes out after game with the young men of Thebes. But all he cares about is making war on gods. He needs a bit of talking to from you, Father. Will someone call him out here? I want him to witness my good fortune.
Ah! Oh, pity! If only you had known what you'd done, the pain would fall. Stay in this ignorance forever, and you'll be unhappy, but you won't know it.
What do you mean unhappy? Is something wrong?
First, look up. Look at the sky.
Okay, why?
Is it normal, or is it changing?
It's brighter than before. Sort of glowing.
And that fluttering inside of you, you still feel that?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I can feel myself coming into my mind, but my thoughts are moving, shifting, breaking up.
And you hear me. Can you answer me plainly?
I've forgotten what we were talking about.
What house did you go to when you were married?
Echion. They gave me to Echion, one of the stone men, as they say.
And what child did you bear to your husband there?
Pentheus.
Whose head are you holding in your hands right now?
A lion's head. At least that's what the hunters told me.
Just for a moment, please, just look straight!
Who is this? What is this I have in my hands?
Look, understand!
I see unimaginable pain!
Does it look like the head of a lion now?
No! This is the head of Pentheus!
Mourned by me before you even knew who he was!
Who killed him? How is it that he is in my hands?
Truth is an unbearable thing, and its timing is bad.
Tell me! My heart is slipping out of me!
You killed him. You and your sisters!
Where? In this house? Some other place?
Where the dogs tore apart Hecteon long ago.
Why did the poor boy go to Mount Katairon?
To mock the gods in your Bacchic rituals.
Me? What was I doing up there?
Raging, mad! The whole city went mad for Bacchos!
Dionysus destroyed us. I recognize that now.
He was outraged by your hybris. You denied he was a god.
Where is the dear body of my son, Father?
I gathered the pieces myself. It wasn't easy. Here,
And you fitted the lips together so it looks decent.
look for yourself.
His body! His dear, dear body! This is my son! This is what I did! Come, Father, let's place his head and cover him. And lay properly in his grave, he deserves that. For I do not believe my son had any share in my folly.
But he was like you. He denied the god. And now has joined us in a single ruination.
You himself are house. And me. I never had sons myself. And now I see the fruit of your womb, woman, dying the worst death possible right before my eyes. Oh, child, you were the light of our house. As son of my daughter, you held it together. And what a terror to the city you were. No one dared insult me. Once they saw your face, you'd make them pay. And now, I'll be in exile. From home, from honor. Kadmos the Great, who sowed the Theban race and reaped fair harvest. Oh, beloved one, I know you are dead, but still, child, still, you count as my most beloved. Never again will you touch my face or fold me to you, saying, does someone slight you, old man? Does someone disrespect or vex or make you upset? Tell me, I'll punish him. No. I'm broken-hearted now, and you are lost to us. Your mother ruined, her sisters bereft. If anyone here despises the demonic, let them look at this boy's death and believe in God!
I feel your sorrow, Kadmos. Your grandson's punishment was justified, yet agony for you.
Oh, Father! Here's my life turned upside down!
I am the God triumphant! You squandered all your chance to worship me. That was unwise. You must leave the city and go among strangers. You are defiled. And you insulted me, claimed I was a mortal man. Now learn, murderous woman. Learn what kind of God I am. You will turn into a serpent, your wife into a savage snake. You will, as the oracle foretells, lead a barbarian army in the sacking of cities, in the laying waste of shrines, and journey miserably home. But Ares will save you and translate you alive to the land of the blessed. I say these things not as the child of a mortal man, but as son of Zeus. Had you known to live within measure, you would be prospering now, and the son of Zeus your ally.
Dionysus, hear our prayer. We did wrong.
You learned too late, far too late.
Yes, yes, but your retaliation is too much.
I am a god, and you insulted me.
Gods should not resemble humans in their anger.
My father, Zeus, approved all this a long time ago.
It is decided, alas, old men, we shall go into exile, into despair.
Exactly. Why then delay?
Evil. Evil is where we are now. You, your sisters, and I. This is the worst. I'm to live as a stranger in strange lands. I'm to live as a snake and lead an army against the altars and tombs of the Greeks, and I will find no release from my misery. Not even on the sail to death, to peaceful oblivion.
Oh,
arms around me, you poor child. Like a young swan to its white-headed father.
Where shall I go? I have no home!
Child, I do not know. Your old father isn't much help.
Farewell, my house. Farewell, my city. I leave you now for the absolute pain of exile.
Go.
I'll grieve for you, Father.
I'll grieve for you too. And for your sisters.
It is a terrible, terrible torment Dionysus has brought against his house.
Terrible what you did to him. You took away the honor of his name in Thebes.
Farewell, my father.
Farewell, my poor dear daughter. But you are beyond faring well.
Lead me away to my sisters, to our pitiful place of exile. May I never see Mount Cathiron again. Never lay eyes on it. Never see its Thyrsos. Never remember a moment of this. Leave the Thyrsos to the Bakkhai.
Many are the forms of the daimon.
And many the surprises wrought by gods.
What seemed likely did not happen. Look for the unexpected.
A god found a way.
That's how this went today.
everyone for coming tonight. We would also finally like to take this final moment to thank someone who we hold really dear to our hearts, and without who this show would not be possible without. This person has also been a crucial member of the RC Players, and this is actually his final year. And throughout his time here, he has directed 2 full-length shows, one that you might be really kind of familiar with, which is A Most Conspicuous Murder. He is the reason that a lot of us are here in this show. And Will, thank you again for everything you've done for us and the RC Players. And everyone, please give him another round of applause. Show surrounding the god of wine, of course, Dionysus. It would have been great if we could give you wine. However, due to us being underage, we give you grace.
That's all, folks.